What's up, everybody? This is Steve Sperlacci, and that was just a little jam that I put together using the Donner Circle Looper, which is going to be the highlight of today's demo. So the Donner Circle Looper is an incredible machine. It's a drum machine, it's a metronome, it's a recording looper, and it's one of the coolest things that I've come across in the price range. This is a sponsored video by Donner, and they sent this out to me for a review. You could pick these up for about $100, give or take a couple dollars depending on the day. But I think it's more than worth the price of admission, because this is like one of the tools that's like seriously changed how I started writing things and getting inspired. I love having drum loops and drum machines just at my disposal where I can just turn a knob, get inspired, and then just get playing. And this has done exactly that. That intro jam I put together in about, 10, 15 minutes and just had a good time. The bass on that track is my Sir, but I'm using my Helix to drop it an octave and play a little bit of bass on it. And then I'm using my Sir through the same HX stomp. And I have the looper in an effects loop, so it's not being affected by the guitar tone. If you are someone that's going to be using this through a guitar amp, something to note is that putting this in the front end of an amp might give you different results, and it might not be as clean of a sound with the drums. That's why I opted to put it in an effects loop that'll be after the tone stack. But if you're going direct through like studio monitors, like I'm using, my HX Stomp, it sounds really killer directly through the studio monitors. Donner also provided these really cool studio monitors for the video station in my studio. So what you see here are the monitors that I do all of my video editing on and all of my guitar videos on. And don't do what it says in the manual where it tells you to plug into the looper first before your pedal board. That's going to give you some really interesting results if you plug this in before your pedals, and your distortion is going to distort the loop. We don't want that. And as far as the amount of track that you could record, I didn't run out, and I just recorded 2 rhythm and a bass and a lead track. So I was able to do at least 4, and I don't think that it's limited. I think I could still keep going. I think you basically just get an entire segment of audio. I'm curious how many can actually go. Maybe some of you guys that have this can check that out and let me know in the comments how many tracks there are, how many tracks you've maxed it out with. I'm also going to throw a little bit of a surprise at the end of this. I'm going to put the loop on that I made. I'm just going to let it run for 4 minutes. And if you guys like that intro jam, you can jam along to it at the end of the video. There won't be any lead on it. It'll just be my rhythm guitar, accent guitar, bass guitar, and the drums from the Circle Looper. Again, this was thrown together in a few minutes with the looper. It's by no means a professional produced track, but it's fun, and it was fun to make and fun to play with. So let me know what you think, and if you want to jam along, skip to the end of the video. So for starters, let's go through the basic features and the highlights of the Circle Looper. It records up to 4 minutes per each track, and you have 40 preset slots that you can save and keep in your unit stored. So that even includes the loops that you make. Also stock, it comes with over 100 different drum grooves, 10 unique styles, 10 types of metronome functions, and different settings for you to choose from. So basically there's something for everybody in here. There's so much to be inspired by, and you can just browse around and you'll find something that you're gonna lock into eventually. There is an online editor software that you can, click, drag, import, export all your files and rearrange things the way you want them to be. So moving on to what's actually on the pedal. And I'm gonna try not to unplug it when I do this here. Here you have these 2 knobs. Both of these encoders they press to change function, and then they'll rotate to edit the function. So for example, if I'm on memory, I can rotate this, and this is going through all of my preset slots. So when you actually save something, it's gonna be in one of these preset slots, and you see it goes up to 40. You also control the level. This level control controls the level of your loop, not your drums. So we'll get to that in a second. And then you have a fade out, which is really cool. When you end your loop, it'll fade it out for you, which is like a nice little bit of a professional sounding touch. And then on the other side is a rhythm side. So this is the looper side, and this is the rhythm side. On the rhythm side, we can select our groove. So you can select a groove, you can select your metronome, whatever you're doing, this is where you want to select what you're gonna be playing along to when using the rhythm machine. Then you have their volume. That's the volume of the drums or of the metronome that you're using. And then we have the BPM, where you can set your BPM. You can also have a tap tempo for your BPM. Like right there, it says 90, but I can tap it to whatever I want it to be. If I want it to be 120, or I can just dial the knob and get it to exactly where I want it to be. So the layout of the knobs is really easy. It's really very simple to use and figure out. And now this is probably the most important button here, this merger button. So if you could see with this merger, when it lights up green, that means that the looper and the drum machine are going to be in sync. So when you record to the drums, both will be saved in your preset file. When you're playing your loops to a drum machine, it syncs you to a time clock, which will give you an even amount of measures depending on the time signature that you're in. Whereas the looper is going to just, once you stop playing, it's going to immediately start your loop over. So it's nice that it kind of locks you into that tempo and locks you into that that even time signature, which is something that definitely helps me when I'm writing riffs and stuff. And then down here, the actual foot switches on the bottom here, this is gonna be your record or dub button. So when I'm ready to record, I'm gonna hit the record button. And when I wanna overdub, so anytime you wanna lay something down that's gonna be recorded, you wanna hit this switch. If you're just gonna be improvising and you don't wanna record, then you're gonna use this one, which is stop, play, clear. So when you step on this pedal, it will start and stop your drums, okay? Or your metronome, whatever you're playing to, or your loop in general. If you want to undo your loop as it's playing, you could just press and hold it and it'll undo your last loop. If you want to delete your entire track of recorded audio, you make sure that you hit stop and then hold it down. So it's basically a press and then a press hold. All right, so let's go through and actually like hear and see some of the stuff that we got going on. When you're in your regular memory select area here, you have your level and your fade out. This is just for your regular loop. So if you're just gonna do a regular standard loop where you're gonna do everything, works just as a regular looper. So I can hit record, I can play some stuff, and I can loop it. So now if I just hit the regular loop button, which is the record dub play, it'll be as if it's a regular looper. And I'm kind of doing this with my hands, so don't expect an exact thing of time here. So now it's in regular play mode where it'll just continuously play the loop that I just recorded, and it's stored in here. So if you're just gonna, again, be a regular looping player, you could just do that and you can make your, you can get your money's worth more than adequately doing that. So now this is my recorded audio. So if I hit play, I can also hit stop, and now if I hold, it'll clear it out and now it's gone. And you'll also see there's a really cool green progress bar that goes around the LCD display, which is actually a pretty cool thing. Okay, let's jump to the other side now and let's select the drum groove. So now if I want to hear the drums, I'm going to press the bottom right switch. So now I'm not in a recording mode there, so I'm just being able to listen, and I can change the volume and I can change the BPM. So let's do that. You can see the volume's all the way down there. And now the BPM. I like it there at about 90. And you can hear it stop there. All right, so that's a quick overview of how the Donner Circle Looper works. It's an awesome drum machine, metronome, looper. For around $100, this thing really does a lot. So I really think you get your bang for your buck with these. And hope you guys like this demo. And let me know what you think of the Circle Looper. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.